our update video, we mentioned that some weapons have been buffed. These weapons are the Final Masterpiece, the Albion Cavalry gun, and the Perforator. Throughout this video, we'll check out the changes to each weapon as well as test them in the field. So, with all that being said, let's jump right in. So for the Perforator, you create these explosions every time you get a critical hit or a weak point hit. These explosives that are called here explosive scanners will hit nearby enemies with it. As you can see on the left side here, I have fully enhanced the unique ability, but sadly I didn't have the time or the resources to make a full build with it, so probably it can be even better of what I already have. Moving on to the Albion, I actually had some time with this weapon. I used it when I was still playing the story, really early in the game, and I remember that the unique ability was related to stunning enemies and doing more damage to those stun enemies, if I'm not mistaken. We still have that, but we have it even better. When we hit an enemy with this weapon, we inflict a mark. Every time you hit that enemy with that mark, you increase your critical hit rate. Since I have it fully upgraded, you can see here on the left side, my critical hit rate goes all the way up to 30. If you know anything about this weapon, the critical hit rate is really low to begin with. I think it's around 7. The most important part about this weapon, when you have the critical hit buff, you get the ricochet effect. So all the nearby enemies are gonna get stung and going to take a tiny bit of damage as well. Also, another thing you get while using this weapon is a buff called the horseshoe on yourself, where you can literally almost run when you're aiming down sight or when you're hip firing with this weapon. It's great.
For the Final Masterpiece, I'm going to talk about it because I'm the one that's used it and I fully invested in it. I have it fully enhanced all 4 times, so we crafted it once and then infused it 4 times to get the unique ability all the way up. I have an energy activator in it, and I have a catalyst in every spot. I actually messed up on it a bit, so it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So this is a handgun. This is the class that we always felt like is so not great, and I really want it to be good. And this feels like right now it probably is the best handgun in the game. I don't know, because I haven't used everything like extensively, but this one is kind of cool because I don't know how it was before, but it has like all the elements on it. It has fire, it has chill, it has electricity, and it has talk. So cool thing about this is you have to reload. Reloading is how you get it to start. So you begin with a random one of those 4 random ones, and then when you reload you can kind of tell what's going to be coming up next, and you get buffs to it. The trigger rate when you max it out is 50%. The range is 5 meters, and then the firearm damage is times 50%. And it's basically the same on all of them. So it's pretty good. Probably one of the best handguns in the game right now.
Okay guys, so now we are playing a 400% dungeon. We are doing the fortress for the first time. We are going to start with the Perforator. Again, I don't have this one fully done. Just the unique ability is fully done. But see, supposedly every time you get a weak spot hit, there you have it.
Oh yeah.
Or a crit, you get explosive, and that hurts or kills nearby enemies. As a hand cannon, probably you can make this thing really strong per hit, like have an insane DPS with it. And this weapon actually does pretty well at having a decent crit rate and crit damage, even base. So the only thing I did was go for that. I tried to improve that even better, like more crit damage, more crit rate.
Hand cannon is better than the devotion?
Okay, I don't want to get into that. For mobbing, probably this is better.
That's all personal preference. I mean, it doesn't mean maybe somebody likes that one better. I don't know. I've never used the Perforator, so
I don't know. I heard people say that the devotion can be insane in damage, and you can make specific builds with it. But like I said, I never really care about using hand cannons in the game. In Destiny 2, I use them all the time. In this game, I don't know. They don't work for me. So the main point of this is to show you what it does in the field, so you can decide if you like this weapon.
You also have not hardly leveled that gun up. You fully enhanced it, so it's got the unique ability fully maxed out. But
yes.
You said you only have
like 3 catalysts, 3 or 4. I have 1 energy activator and 3 or 4 catalysts.
And only 3 or 4 catalysts, so it could definitely be better, but
yeah, my DPS overall is sitting around 300,000. My devotion The other hand cannon, I think, is 500,000. So yeah, I think you can make it way better. But the whole point is that it's not just single target. I mean, it is, but it had that explosion that covers the surrounding enemies. And I think you can make something really strong with it. Yeah,
is it
now
time for the Albion yet?
it's time for the Albion.
Hey, I got one too. I actually have this one.
You actually need to upgrade it yet. Your shakes like this, right?
Oh yeah, I only have it enhanced twice, and only like have 3 modules in it, so mine sucks. I'm not saying the gun sucks, I'm saying mine sucks.
Good news.
It is shaky.
Yeah, good news. The random shakiness disappears if you fully enhance the unique ability. It's like a debuff they give you unless you fully encase it. It's weird. But yeah, I have invested the most in this weapon, like I mentioned earlier. It's fully catalyzed. I think I'm only missing one spot. Not because I wanted to, it's because I was completely out of catalysts. And might have chill, but because I couldn't keep re-rolling the perks. Not because I want chill on mine. I mean, if you like having an element, great.
Yeah, look, yours is stunning so much better than mine is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't shake.
I decided to use Glay because Glay have the penalty of the movement with a V. So you can see that goes away.
I think it would work really good on Haley too, probably with her V.
Yeah. Probably. As well. Probably will work the best with her if I had to guess, because she had the V for the high crits, or pretty much 100% crits. And I think
it would be a very, very good Haley weapon, but I have no ammo.
Well, the reason I'm trying to use Glay is not because I have a Glay build that works with it. I just use it in my bossing build. But I just wanted to use the weapon almost raw, like almost by itself, so you can see how good it could be without using a high crit character. And I know Glay have stuff that works really good for weapons, like what I'm using the V. But basically you're seeing the stats of the weapon almost like by itself after upgrading it and using modules and everything.
This is definitely a mobbing gun. Like, it definitely feels like they were trying to at least make it a mobbing gun. I think it's good.
I think it's good.
Especially yours being maxed out.
I think it's good. I think it's better if you use it with a skill crit character like Valve or Haley. And I think it would be even better if they decided to buff the damage, because you do damage when you ricochet, not just stun them. I wish that was a bit better. Like if it felt stronger for the 400%. Because in the lab it feels strong because those enemies are only 100%. But anything above 100%, it feels a tiny bit, not underpowered, but I wish it was stronger.
Especially being able to shoot with her V. Is it her? Yeah, her V.
Yeah, this is the best, and my V doesn't perfectly loop.
Down.
So if you have a perfect loop character, I don't, it will be even better.
Stun is cool.
Yeah, for mobbing, it's great. I think it's great.
I still think I like the Enduring Legacy better, but...
Yeah, but technically, we always talk about it. We love the Enduring Legacy, but it's not really a mobbing gun. I mean, you can
like
use it,
type of thing.
But it's not really a mobbing gun. So for people that like using mobbing guns like the Thunder Cage or the Gunlance, this is an alternative. I would say this is a solid alternative. But be sure to fully upgrade the unique ability, because otherwise it's going to be impossible to control. You don't need vibration absorption. Just fully upgrade it and then it will go away. I promise you. It was impossible for me to control before. And it feels...
crit chance on this when it's maxed out? Like when it's a...
Oh, 30.
Because base, you already mentioned it, base is
like
low,
7%, yeah.
30 with activating it, and then Haley with her V, like...
Haley will go to 100%.
It would be 100%, you'd be getting crits all the time.
And with somebody like Valve and Supply Moisture, it will get really high as well. I will not bring this to a boss fight though. I will not bring this to a Colossus fight or a dungeon-only boss fight. I will bring this...
very, very slow too. It's like the rate of fire is war.
I have it increased at an event. Mine's 600, I think. Normally I think it's 400.
Well, mine's, like I said, I only have 3 modules in mine, like the 3 that you always would put in a weapon. So I'm not doing much help. Pretty much everything that's happening is just your weapon.
It's just me.
My weapon's pretty much doing nothing.
And I heard that the dungeons upscale to X amount of players, so it should be...
No, but I think we're doing fine just essentially using one gun.
Yeah.
Pretty much just yours.
If you're curious about my build, guys, again, we don't really make build videos, but I know people ask. People sometimes get upset and we don't show the builds. Basically, what you have to do in this one is look for every module that helps you with crit damage. Mine's almost 4, 3.9. And I think base is like 1 point something, 1.25 maybe. And you can increase the crit rate as well, especially if you're not using it with characters that have crit rate at all. And then other stuff like more ammo in the magazine. I think by default this weapon only has 70, so spam weapon charge, stuff like that.
Yeah, how much do you have in it now? Like,
let me fully reload.
How much in your magazine do you have?
I think I have 2 modules, 134.
Okay, holy cow.
I think,
doubled.
If I'm not mistaken, with expand weapon charge, you get like over 100. And I'm pretty sure I have another module that gives me a tiny bit more. So I get the 134.
Way better. Going back to this one, at least.
I can see the effects in third person.
Yeah, and it's just random at the beginning. When you reload, you just have to like shoot the ground one time and then reload it, and you can change it, and then it's kind of like, you know what's going to happen. So if you want a very specific element, just reload until you get it. I like the Frost one. The Tox one's good too. It puts like Tox on the ground. The Fire one's good, but when you get really close to them, it's kind of hard to see.
Because of the explosion effect, yeah?
Yeah, because of the explosion effect. Like the Tox is gonna get that guy for sure.
I'm not shooting, it's all you. I want to be able to look at what you're doing.
But like, whoa.
Oh my god,
with that, it's like hard to see anything. And like, sometimes I find myself reloading when I shouldn't reload, like instead of just emptying the magazine, because if you have an element that you really like, it disappears. But it's not that big a deal. Like right now we have, is this electricity? It's electricity. I think this is a really fun weapon. It's not like insane, but right now I would say this is the best handgun in the game. Just because, well, like, I used it mostly. I have a catalyst on every single spot, and I have an energy activator, and I kind of messed up with it, but I can't really change it. I don't have the catalyst for it, but enhancing the unique ability is like huge. You have to enhance the unique ability to like max level.
They're rushing you, I'm not helping you.
Oh, I'm like unkillable.
You're unkillable. These weapons feel a lot like we are going to use them in a way that you spray and pray.
It works. I mean, on anything below the 400%, I don't think the gun would be as fun. Yeah, they take a lot of damage, but I don't think it'd be as fun because there's not enough enemies.
I feel like they made these weapon changes for these dungeons.
Yeah, like look at all this. Like where's the Tox? I'm gonna try and get the Tox.
I'm going to stun them and hopefully extend your Tox.
Yeah, if you just shoot them, the Tox is just everywhere. It's like a Freyna. It's not as good as Freyna, but it's kind of like a Freyna.
I don't know.
Puck guy's gonna be so annoying.
Yeah, here's what I will probably switch.
I'm just putting shields down. If you can get in them, good.
Oh, fine. Don't worry about it. This is what I would probably switch to a more high DPS weapon just to shoot the dungeon bosses, and then switch back to the Albion for everybody else. Don't worry about this guy. Let's focus on your hockey puck, dude.
He's half. I put like 30,000 bullets into him, but
I feel like your weapon works a tiny bit better than mine for single target elite / dungeon bosses.
I don't know, it's really hard to tell.
I don't do enough damage, I don't think, with this character.
I love the gun. I think it's super fun.
Yeah.
But I would probably use something different for this specific part. I mean,
one thing I like about
weapons?
all these changes is that they are, instead of making something less strong, they're trying to buff everything else. So I'm completely okay with all these changes.
Yeah, Helldivers didn't want to do that. Now they did after getting a bunch of hate. He's done.
Oh, I can hear your electricity.
Oh, I am.
You have sound effects.
Oh, look, you can't do anything. I'm like taking no damage. I still have all my shield.
Oh my god.
I'm invincible. Actually invincible.
Look at you!
So yeah, this is a perfect weapon to use because you can just sit there and not move.
And just tank it. Oh, look at that, keeping up everything.
Because I don't feel like I'm even taking any damage.
Yeah, you are, because you have shields. Wait, you're
no,
taking...
because he got those spikes on me. That's the only reason I took damage. That gave me damage. That gave me damage.
It felt like you were not taking any damage now that you mention it.
No, watch this though. I don't think he can do damage to me.
Wait. No, he's on me though.
Oh, he died from that. Shoot.
Okay. So to wrap up this video, guys, we already talked about kinda what we were using in our builds, what we like from each specific weapon. If you ask us if it's good to invest in these weapons, I will say yes, especially if you're going to use them for moving in the 400% to 50 in dungeons in general, or even patrols that have a lot of enemies. I think they're fun to use, especially when you fully upgrade the unique ability, because before that, you had these penalties. So I think it's really worth it to go and grind this weapon 5 times, fully upgraded. For the Albion specifically, because that's the weapon I use the most, I will say it's in a good place. I think it could get better. It increased the damage of the ricochet, and especially if you use it with a character that have high crits, like we talk about it, Haley with her V skill. And overall it's really fun because you have all these enemies rushing you really hard, and you can kind of like say, wait, slow down, and then you shoot them.
The final masterpiece, I already said it. I think it's really fun to use if you're just kind of mobbing it. It struggles a little bit, the way I built it at least, on yellow bar enemies and dungeon bosses, but it worked. It's really fun. I mean, Kyle, for me, is one of the most fun Descendants to use, just his kit. I don't think he's the best maybe at anything, but he's good. He's really fun. This weapon's kind of like that. It's not extremely good, but so far out of all the handguns I've used, it's the most fun one. It's just a really fun weapon to use. And I'm not gonna go over like exactly what I have, but I have Sweeping Squad in it because I want, you know, in those 400% dungeons you always have that module activated, kind of just firearm attack, getting that up. I do have Expand Weapon Charge because I was able, I think I have 2 cards to put rounds per magazine. I think the base is 24 or 25, I'm not sure, let me check. Base is 20. I think I have 2 different modules to give me more. I have 35 bullets in the mag now. I did go for a little bit of crit chance, crit damage. My crit damage is super high. The critical hit rate, it's like 20 base, so it's not really good, but I did increase that some too, and then increase the rate of fire. I think you asked me that during the dungeon. I forgot to really talk about it. So that's kind of how I built it. Really fun. I don't know if it's worth, if you don't have a lot, like Activator or Catalyst, I don't necessarily know if it's worth investing in, but it's fun. It's a super fun gun, especially if you're kind of in game and just looking for, you know, different ways to play.
And for the Albion, guys, the thing I was trying to do, it was mostly go for crit damage, because the whole point of the unique ability is that when you apply the mark and you hit an enemy with that mark, your hit rate increases. So I was just trying to focus on the damage I could do with that. So I will use cards like better concentration, like the typical cards that everybody uses when it was to do more damage with the crit damage. I already mentioned it in the video too, but I have 2 cards that give me better ammo in the magazine and also reload speed, because LNGs are really bad at reloading. I'm also using Sweeping Squad with this one. I usually use Sharp Precision Shot, but I actually thought that for this case, Sweeping Squad was a better choice.
You actually built that gun, like you tried a lot of different stuff. You tested that gun extensively on your own. You didn't read anything. You extensively tested that gun, trying to make it better, and you finally got it into a pretty darn good place.
Yeah, I made the mistake to go for DPS, pure DPS at the beginning. It wasn't working good, so I decided to, you know, let's go for crits. Let's go for crit damage, reload speed, more ammo, and then you can try to use a character that have more critical hit rate chance. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. And for the Perforator, I can't really speak about it too much. I invested a tiny bit on it. I put an energy activator on it and like 3 catalysts, not counting the base ones it comes with. I don't know, I just used the typical rifle reinforcement. I didn't know what to do with it that much. I don't have any catalysts, like physically I'm completely out of catalysts. So unless I go to the store and I buy them, I have none. So I couldn't really do anything with it. I think it can be a good weapon, especially for mobbing, even if it's a hand canyon. So that is actually something you guys need to tell us. If you have invested in it, what you're doing with it, how much damage you can do with it, and what kind of mods are you using with it. So that was everything for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.